I think a lot of residents that I speak with feel like the information they're getting from the state, the federal, about the lead numbers improving, they feel like they're getting misinformation and they feel like they have bacteria. I've spoken with, at this point, a couple hundred residents in my 8 times here. They're all reporting of active illness, and they're reporting of when they did independent testing, bacteria was found. So what are your thoughts? Because it doesn't seem in the town hall I was at and other meetings, all the focus is on lead, but there's been no other concerns of bacteria.
Well, keep in mind, before the lead issue, there was boil water advisories, there was trihaloethamines, TTHMs, and the information I get, I started by talking to Mr. Scott Smith, and then I went to the Flint Public Library, and I think it was U of M and Wayne State did a study on bacteria getting trapped in the filters. So I believe there's other issues. The Safe Drinking and Water Act, or whatever it's called, the Safe Drinking and Water Act, it only has the lead and copper rule. Probably 20 years from now, we'll have the bacteria rule. So there are issues. I'm willing to say that there are issues, but people who are saying the water is better is only addressing one issue. I don't think there's a Legionnaires rule. And so when you got Legionnaire, you got Legionnaire's disease, when you got certain strands of pneumonia, if something come out now with maybe a high level.
There's been chloroform in the water.
Yeah. So you've got other issues than what the federal laws address. And this is the time in Flint, while the spotlight is on, not just to address lead and copper, but to set standards and laws in federal government.
I've been here a lot of times, and I hear no talk about the bacterial concerns. I know you're not a scientist, anything like that, but from the EPA, from the state, all I hear about is lead. But you've had independent testing in dozens and dozens of homes sent to an EPA accredited lab that found bacteria. Bacteria, different effects than lead, but could still make people sick. Is the mayor talking to DC? I know DC, she's taking trips to Washington, DC. Is she talking to the EPA? Is she talking to the governor?
So the mayor has a chief public health advisor on board, Dr. Pam Pugh, and Dr. Pam Pugh is having discussions with EPA, DEQ, and others about the real risk of bacteria. One of the bigger issues that we need to make sure that people understand is that when people are not using the water sits for long periods of time, and that's when the risk of that. And so the mayor is talking with those folks, and she brought on a chief public health advisor to look at that as one of the issues, because again, it's about quality of life and making sure that Flint residents are not harmed by what the mayor inherited in this water crisis.
And for people around the country who are wondering why 3 years, why hasn't the Army Corps of Engineers been in here to fix the pipes? Why is it going to take till 2020? Why are people even paying for the water? I know these are all questions that aren't in her complete control, but it's a double-edged sword. You just said when water sits there, bacteria can grow, but people aren't drinking the water because they don't think it's safe.
Yeah, so there are real concerns that have to be addressed. Why the Army Corps of Engineers hasn't come into Flint yet, I'm not sure. And that's something that we've had some conversation about, and we're still trying to learn about why they're not here doing that. And what the mayor is really fighting and working on are the things that's in her control, and really fighting for the residents of Flint, fighting at the state level, fighting at the federal level, trying to do everything in her power to make sure that the concerns here in Flint don't go off people's radar. Because if that goes off people's radar, then Flint is really left to fend for itself, and that makes it extremely difficult for us.